welcome back to Devils United for a preview. Manchester United versus Chelsea. Got two brilliant Chelsea fans here. Prasanna, the king of Premier League quiz, now you are officially. I bet you're happy about that. 16 out of 30. What a knowledgeable person. Prasanna, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I think the guy who's just below us can do a way better job than me, as he definitely knows more stuff than me. But yeah, good to be here. It's been long due.
It has been long overdue, and it's been the perfect time to get you on, especially for Chelsea. Something what we both like to, not that it's something I want to talk about with Man United, but Chelsea for you guys, I'm sure you're happy. Ankit, good to see you again. It's been ages since I've had you on the channel. I think the last time it was actually doing a Champions League preview, so it's too long.
You know what? I mean, that's the thing. Maybe I think probably we should be doing this more often, because I think now if we're doing it, both our teams are not in the Champions League anymore this season. So that's not great. But yeah, fantastic. And again, Prasanna, I did watch a quiz, buddy, and trust me, yes, I've been there in quizzes. Not too bad, I would say, but certainly, this guy kind of rocks it for sure. But absolutely fantastic to be on this channel always. Like I say, everyone, please do like this, smash the like button and do subscribe to Maisy and check out Prasanna's channel as well for sure.
Oh, thank you so much, Ankit. Welcome everyone who's in the channel already. Hello to Nippon, hi to Niall, Ravi, Luca, Chris, Andrew as well in the chat, and Luca, hello to you all. Thank you for tuning in already. It's been great to see you all. Prasanna, we'll go with you first. How do you feel like Chelsea has done for you so far this season?
It's been super rollercoaster, up, down, up, down, up, down. In the start, we were thinking we're Premier League title contenders with Lukaku and all. That went well. And of course, we did win the Super Cup and the Club World Cup. And we missed out on the League Cup final on penalties. And we are in yet another FA Cup final. Champions League, I was gutted the day with the gutter after the second leg. I literally had no words to put out. I was just sitting like this. And I was thinking, what do I even say now? But at least we are now hopefully we cement third place, and hopefully we can win the FA Cup to cap off this season.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to describe what our season's been like, but it's definitely, like you actually say, Alton Towers that are Bolivian, we're just gone down. Basically, that's just United. Ankit, how do you feel like Chelsea's done?
I think what I'm wearing today kind of says it. I'm kind of waving the white flag already, and that's what season has been. Because for a change, I'm not wearing blue. But the fact is, let's see, as in what did we actually expect out of this particular team? I expected at least, by the time season ends, we should be competing for the title. And I think if we get the Club World Cup, Super Cup, and maybe one other cup even, I will take that. And we are in reckoning. We're not kind of fighting for the title, but again, the kind of things which happened in December wasn't expected. December, January, that period, that we had firstly the injuries, the COVID situation towards the end. It was really bad, especially affecting Chelsea, and there's no excuse, and that's really a fact. Apart from the fact that obviously the ownership saga that happened. So considering those things and the way we kind of exited in the Champions League, especially the Carabao Cup final, as in those are painful moments. I think the last couple of months we have still been there or thereabouts, and we are in the FA Cup final. So overall, I would rate maybe I would give a 7 out of 10, to be honest. Maybe in a normal scenario, I would have given this maybe average 5 out of 10. But it's I don't remember us winning the Club World Cup, right? And that is one thing which was kind of pending, and we've got that. If we get the FA Cup, especially over Liverpool, trust me, that will be a cherry on the cake.
To Nippon's question regarding the quiz, I'm looking at setting up a new quiz in the next couple of months or so. May do it once the season ends, just then it gives the whole summer and stuff to sort it out, to be honest. So it's good that how you've touched on a few things. Definitely one being the ownership, and I'll go with you, Ankit, on how you do feel in terms of that, because there has been a lot of comments. Who do you feel like this new ownership is going to be?
See, as in, so if you see just the atmosphere that has been in the stadiums, you can see, even like for me as an international audience, I don't like watching the matches this month, especially because it's been really flat. It's been really flat, the atmosphere, right? As in just terms of atmosphere. And that is one of the reasons has been the ownership saga. There has been, a lot of first, there was a Rickett family who was kind of bidding, and there were a lot of controversy regarding their background, what things they have done in the past. They are no longer in the, as in the fight, but Now we have the others, and now when almost it's kind of getting decided, all of a sudden Rudiger kind of gets announced. So I think in between the ownership, I think probably these things have happened. The Christensen saga, the Rudiger saga, a lot of things have happened. It's all related to ownership. There is uncertainty. Even Thomas Tuchel, yes, he's got some personal issues going on, but the fact that the ownership is not kind of clear to him, probably he may not have that kind of confidence in pushing up players as much as he would have done otherwise, right? Because yes, he's saying he'll probably drive in a seven-seater, and that's great to hear as a Chelsea fan. But practically speaking, there is uncertainty there, and there's no kind of coincidence that Thomas Tuchel, Rudiger, etc. were linked to multiple clubs, and hopefully, yeah, we'll have Tuchel there. So for me, as long as he's there, when the new owners are there and they need to listen to him, I don't care who the new owners are. Yes, you can say that obviously, there is a huge difference. What happened to Manchester United, what happened to Liverpool, there's a huge difference, right, in terms of the owners you got. But for me, Chelsea Football Club has kind of built over a period of time now. Yes, we have history for everyone watching. Plus, the fact that last 15 years, especially, what we've done with our academy, if we are able to utilize it well, I think we're good to do.
Mm-hmm. And for you, Prasanna, regarding the ownership as well, because we've heard stuff like the Ricketts, we've heard about Kande, we've heard, of course, about Lewis Hamilton as another one. Who do you think is the most likely person out of who's linked who could be going to Chelsea? And do you think there could be a little bit different in terms of Abramovich, where they might we've seen about Abramovich, he's more of a short-term kind of solution kind of owner. Do you think they may continue that, or do you think they might look at a longer term for managers and Tuchel may stay longer?
I hope Tuchel stays longer, because you look at Pep Klopp and the time they've been given, and you do need time to build a Premier League side that is winning consistently. It doesn't happen overnight. Yes, it happened with the Conte, but that was just one season, and after that, we all know how it ended up at the second season. So I think he needs to be given time, and obviously we need to back him in the summer. This summer is very crucial, and they're saying apparently by now the ownership should have been sealed, but it's going till like April end, and some people are saying May. It's kind of still unclear on what the situation is, and I personally think it would be Todd Bowley, the owner of the LA Dodgers, and from what we've been hearing, he has a decent record there. The Dodgers have been doing pretty well, so it'll be interesting to see whether they have the same ambition as what Abramovich did. Was whoever comes in, their ambition is just to win. I mean, we saw the ambition under Abramovich. I mean, last 5-6 years alone, we have reached 5 cup finals, and we've had 3-4 different managers. The message is the same. Whoever you are, you have to win something. Mm-hmm. That should be the thing, and we can only hope and pray. But for now, I'm just concentrating on till the end of the season, and then in the summer, whatever happens will happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect. There's a few more people here in the chat as well. Hello to Vincent. Hello there to Jack. Hello to Rich. And hello to Matana and Gareth. Thank you all for tuning in. I know there's a few people who's already asked some questions, so I'll go through some of the questions there. I'll go for Ravi's question. I'll give this one to Prasanna. How do you think Chelsea will set up against Manchester United?
I have no idea whatsoever. I have no idea what Thomas Tuchel is going through. I mean, the only thing we know is Kovacic is out for the season. That is a hammer blow for us. So we'll probably...
Sorry, Prasanna, but I believe today there was a tweet saying it was fake news as well. So there is still a question mark. Yes. So,
yeah, but yeah, all for United. Posted it out, so maybe.
Yeah, all for United for sure. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and the thing is, Rudiger has come back to training, so it'll be interesting to see whether he starts on Thursday. But I believe we'll be in a back three. I think Chalobah has to start it. In my opinion, Thiago Silva has to start. And if Rudiger is fit, Rudiger starts. Else you might have to put Christensen or maybe even Azpilicueta right centre back and Chalobah at left centre back, because Christensen, I think his mind is already at FC Barcelona, and we have seen that in the 2 games against Madrid and Arsenal, that he clearly is not. His mind is not here, and obviously the 4 in front of them, Reece James and probably Alonso, because that's the best choice we have. And I think Kante and Jorginho in the middle, although it might not be a bad option to put Loftus-Cheek at right wing, because he's done fairly okay there. He's not been great, but he's done there fairly okay. And then at the top, Mount, Havertz, Werner. That's been, and it's a good thing that Werner has hit form at the right time, and Kai Havertz, we know, always peaks in the second half of the season. So this will probably be my lineup, and yeah, hopefully we don't pick up any more injuries because that's the last thing we want.
Interesting. I have to add there, Maisy and Prasanna, well put there. But I think Christensen has actually turned into Barca's son. So I think
Yeah.
he can probably just, as in, I've gone record saying that I don't want to see this guy in a Chelsea shirt. I don't know Thomas Tuchel is going on playing him. He's probably just utilizing his bandwidth to the core but until the time he leaves. I don't know. But in the last game towards the end, Prasanna, if you noticed, Chalobah, who was kind of, called for by a lot of Chelsea fans that why isn't he playing? He played as left centre back. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's just that okay. Last 1 month left now. Maybe Tuchel has spoken to Rudiger because it's been a few days that Rudiger said, to Tuchel that hey, I'm leaving. It's only to us that we got to know 2 days ago, right? So maybe they've had a conversation and maybe Rudiger kind of mentors him for the next 1 month just so that Chalobah is a left centre back because it's not an easy position to replace and we aren't changing to back four overnight. And yeah, we can probably say that we might go back four, right now for next season because that's how maybe the Manchester United, Man Cities, Liverpool's of the world play, right? And we got to get there, compete with them for the league, week in, week out. But I think FA Cup final is on our minds right now. So I don't think Tuchel is going to change much for this month.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind Chalobah because considering he's been playing at least
Yeah.
better than Christensen and Sarr, I don't want to see both of them, to be honest, anywhere near.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I
That'll be-
imagine that you're having too much bad thoughts after that Arsenal game, I'm presuming.
I mean, it's not just that one game, to be honest. I mean, see, mistakes
Brentford.
do happen, but that's a regular
Exactly.
occurrence with Christensen that he cannot judge balls over the top for some reason. I don't know why. And Malang Sarr, he has also been way inconsistent. We saw that on Nketiah's second goal. Thiago Silva gets a brilliant tackle in, and Sarr tries to play tippy-tappy in the box instead of just clearing it away.
No, Prasanna. So Malang Sarr has played his last game for Chelsea this season at least because last game we had Aspilicueta playing left centre back. I don't know
Yeah.
when that happened last time. So I think it's clear. The message is clear. But yeah, it'll be interesting how we line up and how United lines up because again, Maisy, as in even United are not in a great run of form, right? To speak of it. So how do you think it's going to be the Hannibals of the world, or you actually feel that okay, it's Chelsea. You've not, I think, lost to Chelsea for last 8 games or something like that, right? So at home. So that'll be a record that maybe you might want to keep.
Well,
Well,
we do
that
have,
would
of
be a normal
course,
case because, but now United are playing. They're not playing Chelsea. They're playing Charity FC Pro Ultra Max. Yeah, because
too many
hear this one. We haven't beaten United in the league since 2017. And guess who scored the winner that day?
Go on, enlighten me.
2017 who was it?
Alvaro Morata.
Oh man.
Yeah, those were good times.
Yeah,
And the
and
last
he actually
time
had loads of misses as
Old
well.
Trafford was 2013. Guess who scored the winner back then?
Enlighten me.
A certain
Don't tell-
Juan Mata.
Oh wow.
And
Wow.
that's
quite a stat.
that was after United had won the league, and that was Fergie's last season.
Yes, that was the last time you actually won at Old Trafford, wasn't it? The season for Spurs
Yeah.
left.
Oh my God, it's been hella draws after that mainly.
I
0-0,
bet you've
1-1,
playing against
everything.
us since. But you might actually beat this record and you might actually win against us. I'm not hopeful for the game, I must be exactly honest. I'm quite nervous. But good how you've touched on your centre back issue because Andrew does have a question which I'll go with Ankit about. Now Rudiger looks like he's going to Madrid. We've seen it all confirmed about on social media. Are you worried about the sellings of like Tamara? Is it going to come back to haunt Chelsea?
It's always done, right? It is a Chelsea thing that we have like loads of players, and especially we cannot kind of generalize about loads of players because Tomori, especially like Mark Gay, okay, he was doing very well for Swansea, and then he came and he got a move to Crystal Palace. I don't think Chelsea. I think it was around the 20 million mark that we got. We didn't expect. We didn't expect that kind of an offer. So it was too good to be true, and then it kind of happened. And Gay, when he was spoken, he's like, okay, I want to move. So it's about the player as well. We can kind of easily say that, okay, always blame the club. But no, it is basically a piece of paper which is signed by two parties and two parties have to agree to it. And that is what I always say that, hey, there is a portion of it. Yes, a lot of Chelsea players, kind of prefer being sold than going on a loan. But again, I think Billy Gilmore is an example for it. He was one that, okay, we said that we had loads of injuries. Why didn't we keep Gilmore? And he wasn't being used in Norwich. But Clearly, his dad on social media has told that he wanted to play first team football. Same thing on Mark Gahey. Same thing on Lamptey in the past. He actually went. Livramento. Tomori, he wasn't getting any football whatsoever under Lampard. It was a peak COVID season. That in that particular scenario, you get an offer from AC Milan, right? And that is something of a move for the player as well. So again, they agreed on it. So I think going back on it, yes, of course, there's a sense of regret. Absolutely not. As in, there's no two ways about it. Tomori, especially because who's played in the first team. But again, are they starters for Chelsea Football Club even today? Are they starters if we want to win the league? Answer is no. I know Chelsea fan would not like me saying it. Answer is no, they are not. Rudiger probably was, and we are letting him go. The bigger regret is letting Rudiger go. And even on this, I've kind of spoken on my channel, Maisy and Prasanna. But what I've said is, say, okay, Christensen, most of the Chelsea fans are hating on him because of the fact that he kind of, hasn't dropped his style way back, in time, and he's not kind of performing. Plus the way it was all dealt with. Rudiger, okay, he kept Chelsea waiting. He wasn't agreeing to a certain salary. But then what happened? Eventually, when he said, no, I got to go, that is when Chelsea ownership is kind of almost getting through. So it was always planned by Rudiger's party as well. Honestly, it's just that he managed it better. And yes, and today's day and age, that is what player power speaks, especially at Chelsea with the ownership situation. I think that is what Rudiger has actually come out, getting the better deal out of all this. Honestly, if I'm really being very fair about it, even Rudiger is not a hero in all this. What has happened, right? I won't put Chelsea as a villain here. It's about basically us at the end of the day losing. Yes, the solution would have been just give Rudiger whatever he wants. Unfortunately, we're not able to commit right now because of the sanctions, and he has used that opportunity. And I know many Chelsea fans won't like me saying it. That is a fact. Trust me on that.
Do you agree with that, Prasanna?
Yeah, I do, because we were all saying that once the new ownership comes in place, the first thing is put out the contracts on the table for Rudiger and Aspilicueta and even Christensen at that point of time. But it just kept dragging on and on and on. And as a player, you're wondering, what is my future here? Because I have an option, because Madrid are calling me, and if Madrid calls you're not going to say no. The simple fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something what I wanted to touch on as well was actually a player who you signed in the summer, Lukaku. We've heard everything about Lukaku, haven't we? The interview, he'd rather be at Inter Milan. He hasn't really performed, has he really, at Chelsea? And I just wanted to get both your thoughts on Lukaku in particular. Do you feel like he was the right person to come in this transfer window? And I'll go with you first, Prasanna.
At the start of the season, we all got gassed up saying that he was the final piece of our puzzle and we are going to go for the league title and all. And to be fair, he actually started well. I mean, he did start well and he got them goals. But I think in the middle, he also got injured and that interview didn't make it any better. And he has just fallen off. I mean, at least with Werner, he didn't get goals, but at least he was trying. Yeah. With Lukaku, sometimes he just stands there waiting for things to happen. And that's the thing. At least if you move around, try to make things happen, because in Premier League you get mostly low blocks, and if you have to drop deep to make things happen, like how a Harry Kane does. He drops deep, plays the ball forward, and then goes forward again. He's not the quickest, but Harry Kane's ability to read the game is probably second to none, and that is what Lukaku should be kind of doing, because Lukaku is quick as well. He's quick, he's strong, he can win headers, but the thing is sometimes we all see on other streams. I mean, someone was saying that take a shot every time Lukaku does a thumbs up. We'd probably be done by the end of the game. Trust me, because that's the only thing he was doing. I mean, for credit to him though, he came on a substitute. He got us the penalty, but it didn't end up that way. But there are kind of glimpses of him doing, but overall he's not. And we are at the point of like sell him. Werner, he has made a case for himself to stay for a while, because the way he has been performing for the last few games. Lukaku, he's not making a case for himself, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. What have you thought about him there, Ankit? Do you think perhaps keeping him, Tuchel would have had to change his formation to go like two at the front, because we've seen the best of him in that kind of formation?
100%. And I agree with most of the things Prasanna said, but again, when I was with Lukaku, I kind of think differently. Yes, to begin with, from Lukaku, you're right, Maisy, as in terms of, you can talk about systems. He himself had the audacity to actually tell to Inter Milan or whatever the Italian fans, or whatever he did. But the fact being that yes, he has played there majority of his recent career, but he's not like 20, right? As in, this guy has played a lot of football, and it's not like the first time. He's played like for what, three English clubs in the past, including Chelsea. So he was coming back. He was always knowing what formation Chelsea plays. It was not like overnight. Yes, we didn't get Haaland, and that's why we went for Lukaku, and that's a hard fact that we need to accept. But we were kind of linked with him. Inter Milan were not having the kind of resources that we always knew that Lukaku was an option to go out. So he was aware that that is a possibility. He was always talking about unfinished business. So if he saw him in Chelsea, did he expect the entire team to change, the entire club to change? Like, he thinks that he's bigger than the club. That is the problem. The mentality is the issue. And I know a lot of Manchester United fans, Maisy, I know you spoke on my channel. We had a discussion around that, about how he did for United, what are his shortcomings. Yes, he has a lot of shortcomings, but if you see with Belgian team that he did over the summer, as well as Inter Milan whole of season, I think he has the ability to think, take things by the scruff of the neck and actually run games. It's just that he didn't apply himself. He did that in the very first month when he was so motivated about coming back to Chelsea. After the injury, once Tuchel dropped him, no, as in no, I'm the king of the world is what he thinks. Yes, he went back and saying to the media, no, I'm committed to Chelsea and all that, but everyone's going to say that a second time, right? Aren't you? So, but at the same time, Werner suddenly, kind of waking up towards the end of his Chelsea career, which I believe is the end of his Chelsea career. It should be, I know, controversial. But for me, the last 18 months, apart from the Champions League, I don't remember fantastic moments that he's had consistently. So for me, he is a proper cup player. Fantastic when it comes to effort. One of my best in terms of the effort, but one of my worst in terms of the footballers that we have. He is not a natural footballer, and that is the main problem. He does not kind of, as in think before kind of making a pass. He actually reacts late, and those are things that even you saw in Lukaku in the past, which Lukaku has learned. Werner Lee needs to learn. So for me, Werner coming, to form right now will probably help us. Probably get rid of him. We get some money out of him. Lukaku, no one's going to take. If anyone's going to take, it for a loss. So Lukaku needs to get his mind right. And we told in the past we've had Fernando Torres, who was supposedly a flop. He got the assist for the goal that Drogba scored in 2012. So you can always make a mark as a sub. Shevchenko, one of my favorite, again a flop for Chelsea, but he's had moments as a substitute under that great team that Chelsea had. So you can be that. That is what our aspiration should be. So for me, keep Lukaku unless he's not able to kind of clear his head and get rid of Werner.
Hey, a lot of people hate on Mason Mount as well, and he got the Champions League finals assist, didn't he? But Luca did ask about doing a combined 11 for Man United versus Chelsea. Did respond back to him in the comments, and I said it would be 11 Chelsea players. So it would be a crack combined 11, let's just say. Ashley and Santiago, thank you for tuning in as well. Chris has got a good question, but I'll stay with you, Ankit, about this. Are you worried Tuchel could leave or even get sacked if Chelsea don't win anything this season and with the current situation?
No, absolutely no. In fact,
no.
Yeah, it's a clear no, because of the fact that just the body language Tuchel. Yes, in the last 1 week he hasn't been what he used to be, but if you see from the time the ownership saga started, he has been the one who's actually calling the shots. I know big words, but what Sir Alex Ferguson used to do to Man United, he kind of owned the place. That is how Tuchel is doing at Chelsea right now, and which is very rare. And if you actually carefully follow Tuchel, Chris, he's the one who's actually watching the women's game. He's watching the under 18s game. He is there. He is wanting to build a dynasty. He needs to be backed. Unfortunately, we've gone through lots in the last 6 months. He can do it. Trust me, he can do it. And for me, he's committed. Again, because of his personal life, whatever's happened now, it's even great that okay, he doesn't really have any dependencies. Let him actually just continue, give him the space. And anyway, it's a new owner. I don't think they can judge right now this season anyway. I don't think who's going to make the decisions. It's kind of be weird, right? So he is probably making his own decision. The idea is just give him whatever he wants. I don't think he's going to get sacked and leaving. I don't. Even if there's a 0.1% chance, there's always a 0.1% chance. You can't say no every time, right? But yeah. I think let's actually just tell him that okay, you are here for the long run, and that is something that Chelsea hasn't done. The difference between Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Man United, the two of our teams haven't done that in recent seasons. Unlike especially Man United, what you've done in the past, and Chelsea needs to take a leaf out of that book.
Mm-hmm. Do you agree with that, Prasanna?
Yes, I mean there is, hopefully he stays, because he needs to, we need to basically build around him. And because we all know what an elite manager he is. Obviously he's not the elite manager yet, but over time he will become, if you give him the trust, because he is getting towards that level. And I just we can only hope he stays, and we build around the young squad we have, because we also have a young squad. Yes, we did spend big piece on our squad, but we still have a young squad per se. I mean, all around 22, 23, 24 age group. So we have to build around this team, and just hope that we can get close to competing for a title next season, and just get through that December, because it last 2 seasons it's been kind of a similar template. We go on a good run, we are top of the league by January happens, we come crashing down, and it's just back to a fight for top four, shouldn't which um, which shouldn't happen. We should consistently be in a title race, like how Liverpool and Man City have been. I would like to go the Liverpool way though.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't spend big money. Look at the money they spent on Jota, look at the money they spent on Diaz, and they've hit the ground running. So that's the difference. That's what we should be doing ideally, so to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know there was a question here for myself. There's a couple of questions here for me. In terms of Hannibal's attitude, to be honest, he done the best what he could. He come on 85th minute. We was already, 4-0 down against Liverpool. No one else showing passion. No one else could give a crap. And yeah, when you come to these old kind of rivalries, you want that to see a little bit of passion. You want to see that little bit of rivalry, and Ankit and Prasanna will agree in terms of if they played against the London teams, do you want to see passion and you want to see a bit of face from your teams? And if you can't step up against your rivalries, you cannot be at the club if you don't step up for these kind of games. So I know there's a mixture of views in terms of Hannibal, and I think he done the best what he could in them couple of minutes, and I can't discredit for what he's done, because if you was any other player, you'd probably do the same, to be honest.
He was actually thrown under the bus for the fourth goal, to be honest.
Yeah,
it was not his fault.
No, it wasn't his fault. Maybe he could have been he was a little bit reckless, but you see them in derbies, don't you? You see them kind of reckless kind of moves. So I couldn't discredit him really. And
you can't blame him. There is no chance you can blame him.
In terms of the women's game, we played crap. We're out the Champions League. Well done to Chelsea, potentially winning the league. We got you in a few weeks' time. Oh, nervous. Let's just say we never.
Yeah, I think there's 4 more games. I think. Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I think there's probably.
You got to keep doing it, man. As in, probably that's something that a men's team kind of can take some confidence out of, because yes, they are a different element for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We were down to 10 against Tottenham with our goalkeeper sent off, and we still won 3-1.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. That is just the mentality what Chelsea have, and Man United has actually never won against Chelsea in the WSL. Never won a single game. So
that's a good record on the last day of the season.
Let's hope that record could change. Hello there to Ashley Fox there, Tariq. Thank you for tuning into the chat as well. Jack has got a good question for both of you here. Reece James is a particular fullback who I rate very much. He would be someone who I would want at Manchester United, because I think he's got something what not many fullbacks have. He's defensive and he can go forward, and you don't see that in a lot of fullbacks who can do both. Trent Alexander-Arnold is brilliant at going forward, but not so much defensively. Same with Dalot. Wan-Bissaka is more defensive and can't go up front. So it's a mixture really, and knowing that you have got a special talent, especially from the youth team actually, who can do both, I think it's great. And Jack has got the question of how do the lads feel about the fullback issue with the Chelsea injuries? The Tuchel need to invest in better depth in those positions, which I'll go with you first, Prasanna.
Yeah, it was clear to see that we had to rely on Alonso, and Alonso for me he's not going to win you the league. He can win you cups, 1 or 2 cups, but he's definitely not someone who's going to win the league for you. I mean, maybe we could have gone really hard on Hakimi in the summer, and we recalled Kennedy that really didn't work out as what we thought it would. Emerson said he would rather stay at Lyon. So, I mean, if you put in the context, our season ended when Chilwell got injured against Juventus. Let's be honest. I mean, yes, we did win the Club World Cup after that, and we are still going. We're still kind of moldering along. We haven't fallen off as yet, but we're not going the step that we should be. And that is the thing. If you look at Man City squad, for every position they have enough backups. For for every single position they have backups. Liverpool, there are thereabouts. Their first 11 is as strong, but Liverpool were kind of lucky with their injury crisis. We saw them last year. Almost the whole squad got injured at some point or the other, and they couldn't really keep up. And it was only at the last part of the season they got up to third. And we were really unlucky with injuries, but you can't. Injuries are part and parcel of football. You have to deal with it, and that's why we Chelsea fans keep on reiterating that this summer is huge. This will determine whether we can go that one step ahead or stay where we are, which is a cup team with possibly third in the table. Because we have been a cup team since we last won the league. Yes, we have won all other competitions, but it's the league. But it's the league that's your bread and butter, and you have to compete for the league every single season.
Mm-hmm. What about
100%.
you, Ankit, in terms of this
See,
question?
again, like Prasanna said, yeah, it's been the main reason as to why our season kind of fell off. Yes, of course, you can kind of say that, okay, Chilwell, we had Alonso on paper, and Alonso is something that we kept because of whatever reasons may be. Now that's the thing, right? The context is important because for me in the summer, yes, we had Emerson. Emerson had just won the Euros, remember, and then we had Alonso. For us to kind of get rid of both of them was almost impossible, right? And towards the end, it was Leon who took Emerson on loan, and Alonso was kind of stuck, and we didn't have. So unless, and that was always something that Tuchel is not someone who kind of as in plays with words. He's direct. He says it how it is, right? And he said it. And until we have these players and they are our players, I don't think we can even think of otherwise, right? As in, that's the thing. So we weren't able to get rid of Alonso on the left hand side. That is what happened, and of course, no one's going to expect a Chilwell to get injured for a long term. Alonso is one of our experienced members. If you want to change something in the game tactically, also if you think about it, I think Chilwell Alonso kind of are very different, and that's what is great for the squad. Actually, if you really think about it, if both are fit, but big if. Now the right wing back situation. Entire summer we were linked to Hakimi. Then we had even Adama Traore. Adama Traore says no, he doesn't want to play the wing back. And then Hudson-Odoi was tried initial part of the season. For me, again, I go back to saying that it's about application, just like Lukaku. If he had applied himself well, probably he would have been a right wing back. I know, again, many Chelsea fans have disagreed on Twitter with me and about that. Come on, as in you don't kind of as in are born as left winger. No, as in Hudson-Odoi can do that. If Hakimi is doing that, being a proper winger who does that, why can't Hudson-Odoi do? It's the mentality. For me, that should have been the thing. But yes, it didn't work. And around the same time, I think it was about 2 games after Chilwell got injured that Reece James also got injured, right? And that was the timing of it. Now, that is a really, as in the worst case scenario. We don't think we'll get into that scenario again. But you're right, you guys, we have to get basically some backups there. As in you can see in Man United, right? Of course, with the fullbacks also there's a problem, right? So I think this is a problem with many clubs because most of the fullbacks and wingbacks are best in the world. City buys one at 50 million every year. Let's get it right. So I think there are very few options remaining in the market for us. But yeah, absolutely we need to get them next season because we can probably expect the worst again, having faced once.
Mm-hmm. And Ravi has a question, and so did Niall. It was a bit similar, so I thought I'd just blend it in together. Ravi asked about if Kepa will start in the game, and Niall asked about the FA Cup, who will start as well. I'll go with you, Prasanna. Kepa for both games? Kepa for any games?
No. Mendy. If your best keeper starts your best games for me, ultimately. That's the thing what we were trying to... I mean, even Kepa, I don't see any... He's improved massively under Tuchel, but Mendy has just shown that he's just way better. Yes, he has had a few faults in him. He has costed us a few goals, but if your number one keeper is fit, you play him. Simple as that. And that has always been my thing. And Mendy definitely starts. There is no question mark.
Mm-hmm. Same question for you, Ankit. I personally rate Mendy though. I really like Mendy.
See, as in I rate him, but again, as in he's a number one keeper. But again, there have been kind of calls saying that okay, as in he's made a lot of mistakes, and I agree to that. Like he has made a lot of mistakes. He's not the keeper that he was last season, but as a keeper, you get those moments. So David De Gea has got that in the middle season. I remember that there was one season when he was out of the team altogether, right? Now he's probably saving Man United like he always used to do, right? So again, there are certain aspects.
He was,
and he's a great shot stopper. And with Mendy, there are certain aspects that he needs to work on. But I think playing Kepa again in a cup, like I remember the Leicester game. I know Chris from Leicester TV. He always kind of banters me with that. What happens with that is exactly the same. We don't take the chance this time around. Play Mendy and Kepa. Remember, finally after so long, he's performing decently. I would
Yeah.
not say fantastic still, decently for sure. But I think the main thing was about getting his market value up. We have got it up a little bit. Probably will not get as many losses. I think he's gone for me. And again, there are reports saying that he's not happy off late and whatnot. I don't know whether that's paper talk, but I think again, Mendy, clearly as a number one, and Tuchel is on record, and he plays the last few games, which is crucial.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and just one more thing. If Kepa really wants to start for Spain, I think he will definitely look for a move in the summer, to be honest, because I think De Gea is already there, and apart from a massive catastrophe, David De Gea is not getting dropped. And even if Kepa to get anywhere near, I think he really needs a move out, because if you're not starting for your club team, there is no way you're gonna even be in the bench for your international team.
Mm-hmm. We'll also go do this question here from Jack, and I'll go with you, Prasanna, about this. What one aspect of play that Chelsea lads want to see improve going into next season?
It's been the thing that's been happening for a long time now, and that's playing
The
against
long
low
list.
blocks. We have struggled against low blocks every single time, and sometimes we always resort to this philosophy that cross the ball into the box and pray that something happens, and that's not going to happen, because that is where your there's a difference between a good team and a very good team and title winning team. Man City, Liverpool come against them low blocks, they somehow find a way to break them down every single time. We do it very rarely, and that is why we are not winning the league. So that is what needs to happen. And obviously, this is just Tuchel's first full season. Next season, obviously, there will be room for improvement. Youngsters are there; they are going to make mistakes. They are going to learn from them. That's how you learn. You make mistakes and then you learn. So that is how we are. That is how we should hopefully improve next season. And another thing is, hopefully we get to December and January unscathed, because it's always a thing that for title winning sides, whoever is top on Christmas, they go on to win the league. Almost every single time that happens, and that is what ideally we should be going through.
Mm-hmm. Ankit, do you agree with that?
Yeah, as in, see, come on, as in terms of low blocks, there's been a problem of many teams. It's not just Chelsea. It's not easy to kind of get those kind of players, but again, that is the difference maker when it comes to Chelsea and others. And also the fact that for me, again, I would like to see a system change. And again, like I kind of go left field in most of my views, knowing myself. But I think I would like a system change. Yes, we won the Champions League, Champions of Europe for the second time. Last few days, let me say it again. But yeah, absolutely, great that. But come on, as in being a cup side is brilliant, like Prasanna said. But we need to do the bread and butter stuff, and that's something that we really take pride in as Chelsea Football Club. We waited for what, decades together, and now again it's getting to that. We don't want to get to that again. We need to do that, and for that, modern football, whether we like it or not, is a 4-3-3. We need to go that, get the players, and get those things done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we'll wrap it up here. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you, Prasanna, both of you for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure to actually get you both on the show. Definitely need to get on with you, both of you again. Ankit, would you like to shout out your socials and the score prediction?
Oh yeah. As in, firstly, the score prediction. I'm just hoping that Ronaldo doesn't get a hat trick. No more records against Chelsea. I think he'll be like the first ever or something to score like in 3 back-to-back, home matches, hat tricks or something like that. As in, wow. That's one thing that I'm hoping. But yeah, big shout out to Doug as well. But you can obviously find me on Almighty Blues FC. You see it here. Again, it is a fan channel for all to see. Maisy's been there. Prasanna's been there. Again, everyone is welcome. Yes, even I am coming back with my quiz very soon. We'll see some quizzes there. Hopefully, I'll come back to the quiz mode as well with you guys. And Prasanna, big up to you for that. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. And yeah, for cricket watchers, I do have a cricket channel separately, which is Almighty Blues Cricket. But absolutely fantastic coming here. And I'm just hoping that we win. I'm going with let's go with the 2-1. It's been a very long time that we haven't kind of beaten Man United. I just want goals, so 2-1 will be ideal to Chelsea away.
Brilliant. Let's hope that it isn't a 2-1. It's more of a victory for us, but fingers crossed. Hi there, Doug in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. And Prasanna, brilliant to have you on. First time after being crowned after Premier League champion of knowledge. So big up King to Prasanna. King Prasanna it is now when it comes to my channel. Prasanna, would you like to shout out your score prediction and your socials?
Yeah, my socials is Prasanna Bala 97 on Insta. And this name is Prasanna Balakrishnan. This is my YouTube channel. I'm just 9 short of 400 subs, so the chat can help me get there. And yeah, and my score predictions, I go with the same 2-1. Hopefully it's not a slugfest like what we've seen over the past few years at Old Trafford. I mean, at least for me being here, it's okay. But for once getting up late in India, you don't want to see a slugfest at 2 a.m. in the morning. That's the last thing you want to see.
I can imagine.
I think Ankit would agree to that.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think it's going to be a draw. I'm hoping for a draw anyway. So,
but no Jorginho mistakes, please.
yeah.
Jorginho, make a mistake, please.
Yeah, and the hop skip penalty, please. Seriously.
Yeah, well, we'll wrap it up here. I'll be next live tomorrow. I'll be doing a Manchester United women preview versus West Ham. Got Andy and Chloe on, the same usual guests. And I'll be doing a watch along for Barcelona women. And first actual watch along what isn't Manchester United. That'll be on Saturday. So go and check that out. And go and check out Prasanna. Subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. And subscribe to Ankit, both in the description below. I'll see you all soon. Goodbye for now.